Have you ever felt someone pull away and your mind screamed they don't care? You felt the silence, you saw the distance, and you assumed the worst. That is normal. That is human. But here is what most people never realize. Sometimes the person who pulls away is not cold, they are scared. Sometimes the person who avoids you is not rejecting you. They are protecting themselves from a love they don't feel worthy of. You have been reading their distance as dislike. What if you are wrong? What if the very questions an avoidant person asks you are the proof you have been looking for? Not the big romantic speeches, not the public declarations, not the constant texts. No. An avoidant person shows love in a language you were never taught to understand. And today, you are going to learn that language. Stay with me until the end of this video, because in the final minutes, I will give you a simple 3-word question you can ask yourself right now. That question alone will tell you whether an avoidant person secretly loves you or is simply using you for comfort. Do not skip ahead. The reward is for those who finish. Let us begin. Most people think love is loud. They think love is daily reassurance, endless compliments, constant presence. But that is only one style of love. Human psychology tells us something different. Attachment theory, studied for decades, shows that people fall into different patterns of bonding. Secure, anxious, avoidant. You already know the anxious style. That is the person who texts 10 times in a row, who needs to hear "I love you" every hour, who panics at silence. That feels like love to most people, because it is visible. But avoidants are the opposite. An avoidant person learned early in life that emotions are dangerous, that needing someone leads to pain, that vulnerability gets you hurt. So they built a wall, not because they have no heart, because their heart was broken too many times when they were too young to understand. Now as adults, they disappear. They go quiet. They pull back. And you think they do not love you. But psychology says something shocking. Avoidants actually feel deeper than most people. They just cannot show it. Their brain processes emotional pain almost like physical injury. So they run. Not away from you. Away from the fear of losing you. And here is the part no one tells you. When an avoidant truly loves someone, they start to ask questions. Not casual questions. Deep questions. Secret questions. Questions that look like distance but are actually the closest they ever come to saying, "I am yours." Let me explain. A person who does not love you asks nothing about your inner world. They take what you give. They leave when it is convenient. They do not wonder about your past or your fears or your dreams. But an avoidant in love, they watch you. They study you. And then they ask things that sound strange, sometimes even hurtful. Do not misunderstand the pain for rejection. That question is their hand reaching for yours. Let me give you the first question. Why do you stay? An avoidant who does not love you will never ask this, because they do not care why you stay. They only care that you are there when they need you. But when an avoidant asks, "Why do you stay?" they are not doubting you. They are doubting themselves. Deep inside, they believe they are broken. They believe you will eventually leave. They have been left before. So they ask this question not to push you away. They ask it to understand why you have not run yet. Psychologically, this is called a testing question. But it is not a test of your loyalty. It is a test of their own worth. They are saying, "I see no reason to love me, so why are you still here?" That is not coldness. That is a cry from a person who has been taught their whole life that love leaves. If you hear this question, do not get angry, do not defend yourself, just answer honestly. Tell them one small reason, not a long speech, just one truth. That one truth will land deeper than any romance movie. Now the second question, do you ever get tired of me? Most people would feel hurt by this. They would think, why would you ask that? Are you trying to push me away? No. An avoidant asks this because they are terrified of being a burden. They have spent years believing their needs are too much. Their silence, their space, their alone time. They think these things exhaust people, so they ask if you are tired of them. That is their way of checking if you still have energy left for them. Psychology calls this hypervigilance to rejection. They are always scanning for signs that you are about to leave. Not because they want to leave, because they want to prepare for the pain. An avoidant who does not love you will never ask if they are tiring you. They simply leave when they are done. But an avoidant who loves you, they will ask this question over and over, not to annoy you, to hear you say no one more time. So here's what you do. When they ask, do not say, "Of course not." That is too fast, too easy. Their brain will not believe it. Instead, pause, look at them, then say, "Some days are harder than others, but I am not tired of you." That is honest, that is real. And an avoidance brain finally relaxes, because you did not lie. You admitted difficulty, and you stayed anyway. Third question. What do you want from me? This question sounds defensive. It sounds cold. It sounds like they are building a wall. But listen carefully. A person who feels nothing for you never asks what you want. They give you nothing, and they do not care. An avoidant asks this because they are afraid of being trapped. They have seen love turn into a cage. Demands, expectations, obligations. They do not want to fail you, so they want to know exactly what you expect, so they can either meet it or warn you that they cannot. Psychologically, this is a boundary question. It is not rejection, it is negotiation. They are saying, "I care about you enough to not want to disappoint you, so tell me the rules, and I will tell you if I can play." If you hear this question, do not say, "I want nothing." That is a lie, and they will know it. Do not say, "I want everything." That will scare them away. Instead, say one small thing. "I want you to text me when you get home safe." Or, "I want 1 hour with you every week." Small, clear, doable. That is how you make an avoidant feel safe. Not with big promises, with small, honest requests. Fourth question. Are you mad at me? Most people think this is insecurity, and it is, but not the kind you think. An avoidant asks this not because they think you are angry. They ask because they think they have done something wrong without realizing it. Their childhood taught them that people get angry silently, that punishment comes without warning, that love can disappear overnight. So they ask, "Are you mad at me?" to scan for danger. An avoidant who does not love you will never ask this. They will simply assume you are fine or they will not care. But an avoidant who loves you, they are terrified of your silent anger, because your silent anger means you might leave. And they cannot survive losing you the way they lost others. So when they ask this, do not say no and turn away. That confirms their fear. Stop what you are doing. Look at them. Say, "I am not mad at you, and if I ever am, I will tell you directly." That last part is crucial. I will tell you directly. You are teaching their nervous system that you are safe, that you are not like the people from their past, that silence does not mean danger. Fifth question. Do you think we are moving too fast? This is a strange question from an avoidant, because avoidants usually want to move slow. So why would they ask this? Here is the psychology. When an avoidant starts to feel love growing, their body triggers fear, real physical fear, racing heart, sweaty palms, short breath. That is not excitement. That is their old wound waking up. So they ask, "Are we moving too fast?" Not because you are, but because their own feelings are accelerating faster than their brain can handle. An avoidant who does not love you never worries about speed. They will stay distant forever and feel nothing. But an avoidant who loves you feels the speed of their own attachment and panics. So they ask you to slow down, not because they want less of you, because they want to keep you longer. If they did not love you, they would not care about the pace. They would just leave. So when you hear this question, do not argue. Do not say, "We are not moving fast." They will not believe you. Instead, say, "Okay, let us go your speed. I am not going anywhere." Those last 5 words, "I am not going anywhere." That is the most powerful thing you can say to an avoidant, because their whole life, everyone left. Your patience is your proof. Now here is your reward for staying until the end. The 3-word question you can ask yourself to know if an avoidant truly loves you. Not do they call? Not do they stay? Ask yourself, do they return? Because an avoidant will leave. That is their pattern. They will go quiet. They will disappear for days. They will pull back into their cave. But love is not measured by how often they leave. Love is measured by how often they come back. An avoidant who does not love you will leave and feel relief. They will not check their phone. They will not wonder about you. They will not return until they need something. But an avoidant who loves you, they will leave because they are scared. They will sit in their silence and think about you. They will fight their own instincts, and then they will come back. Quietly, awkwardly, without a big apology. But they will return. That return is their "I love you." That return is louder than any words. So stop asking if they text enough. Stop asking if they are warm enough. Ask if they return. That is your answer. And now we move deeper, because we have only begun to uncover the mind of an avoidant. The questions above are just the surface. There are more questions, darker questions, questions that sound like rejection but mean forever. In the next section, we will go deeper into the psychology of the avoidant heart. We will talk about the questions they never ask out loud, the questions hidden in silence, the questions that prove love more than any confession ever could. You now know the first 5 questions, but those were the easy ones, the ones spoken out loud. Now we go deeper, because an avoidant does not only ask with words, sometimes they ask with silence, sometimes with distance, sometimes with a question that sounds like an ending. And those are the questions that matter most. Let me take you further into their mind. Imagine carrying a backpack filled with stones. Each stone is a past hurt, a parent who ignored your tears, a friend who left without goodbye, a lover who said forever and walked away Tuesday. That is the avoidant's daily life. They walk through love carrying that weight. And every new person who comes close asks them to put the backpack down. But they cannot, because the last time they put it down, someone stole it. Then they had to collect new stones. So now they keep the backpack on, even in summer, even when tired. And the questions they ask come from that place. Not cruelty, exhaustion. Let me give you the 6th question. Do you think we are compatible? Most people hear this and freeze. They think, oh no, they are comparing me. They are making a list. They are about to leave. Stop. An avoidant asks about compatibility not because they are judging you, because they are judging themselves. They are saying, I know I am hard to love. I know I need too much space. I know I disappear. So maybe we are not compatible because of me, not because of you. Psychology calls this projective identification. They place their own fear of being unlovable onto the relationship. Then they ask you to confirm their fear. But here is the twist. If they did not love you, they would never ask. They would just leave. No conversation, no question, just silence. The question itself is proof of attachment. They are hoping you will say, yes, we are compatible. But they are afraid you will say no. So they ask to prepare for the worst. When you hear this question, do not give a long list of reasons. Do not convince them. Do not argue. Just say, we are different, but different works for me. That is all. Because an avoidant does not need to hear that you are the same. They need to hear that you accept the difference. 7th question. What if I hurt you? This is a dangerous question. It sounds like a warning. It sounds like they are planning to leave. No, an avoidant asks this because they have already imagined hurting you. Not because they want to, because they believe it is inevitable. Their brain replays past failures. Every time they pulled away, every time they went cold, every time someone cried because of them. They carry those memories like scars. So they ask, what if I hurt you? To see your reaction. They want to know if you will stay after the hurt. An avoidant who does not love you never worries about hurting you. They just hurt you and move on. But an avoidant who loves you, they lie awake at night imagining your disappointed face. That image terrifies them more than anything. So here is your answer. Do not say, you will not hurt me. That is a lie. Everyone hurts everyone. Instead say, you will hurt me sometimes, and I will hurt you. Then we will fix it. That word fix changes everything. Avoidants grew up in homes where hurt never got fixed. It just piled up. So they learned to run before the pile got too high. Hearing, then we will fix it, rewires something in their chest. It says, this is different. This is safe. 8th question. Do you ever feel trapped? Normal couples never ask this, but an avoidant does. And your first instinct is to feel offended. Trapped? With me? How dare you? Stop that instinct. An avoidant asks about feeling trapped because they feel trapped constantly. Not by you, by their own attachment. When they start to care, their brain screams, danger, you are losing yourself, run. So they ask if you feel trapped, but they are really asking, do I trap you? Do my needs suffocate you? Am I too much? Psychologically, this is called externalizing internal fear. They take their own feeling of being trapped and project it onto you. An avoidant who does not love you never asks this. They simply leave the moment they feel trapped. No question, no warning. But an avoidant who loves you asks because they are fighting to stay. They want you to say, "No, I do not feel trapped." Because then they can tell themselves maybe the trap is only in their head. When they ask this, do not get defensive. Do not say, "How could you think that?" Say, "I do not feel trapped, but I understand why you ask." Validation first, then reassurance. That order is critical. If you give reassurance first, they think you are lying. If you validate first, they feel seen. Then the reassurance lands. Ninth question. Would you be happier with someone else? This question cuts deep. It sounds like jealousy. It sounds like insecurity. It sounds like they are pushing you away. Listen to me closely. An avoidant asks this because they truly believe you deserve better. Not because they want you to leave. Because they hate themselves more than they love themselves. Their inner voice says, "You are broken. You cannot give normal love. You are wasting their time." So they ask if you would be happier with someone else. That is their way of offering you an exit. Not because they want you to take it, because they want you to refuse it. An avoidant who does not love you never asks this. They do not care if you are happy. They care only about their own comfort. But an avoidant who loves you, they would rather see you happy with someone else than miserable with them. That is not weakness. That is twisted love. So when they ask, do not say, "No one else." That sounds fake. Do not say, "Stop asking that." That shuts them down. Say, "Maybe someone else would be easier, but I am not looking for easier. I am looking for you." That last word, you. That is what they need to hear. Not that you have no options, that you chose them anyway. 10th question, the deepest one. Do you think I am capable of love? This question rarely comes out loud. Most avoidants will never say these words, but they ask it silently every single day. They ask it when they wake up alone. They ask it when they hurt your feelings and do not know how to apologize. They ask it when they see couples laughing easily while they struggle to hold a hand. An avoidant's greatest fear is not loneliness. It is being a monster. They have been called cold, emotionless, distant. They have been told they do not care. They have believed it themselves. So the question underneath every other question is this: am I even capable of loving you the way you need? If they did not love you, they would never wonder. They would just take what you give and feel nothing about it. But if they love you, they lose sleep over this. They read articles, they watch videos, they try to change, and they fail, and they try again. That trying is love, even when the trying looks like silence. So here is your answer, the only answer that matters. Do not say, "Of course you are." Too fast, too easy. Do not say, "You already love me." They will argue. Say, "You love me in a language I am still learning, but I hear you." Even when you say nothing, that is the key. You hear them. That is what every avoidant secretly wants. Not to be fixed, not to be chased. Just to be heard without being judged. Now let me pull all of this together. You came here wondering if an avoidant loves you. You wanted signs. You wanted proof. You wanted the same loud love you see in movies. But that is not how they love. They love with questions that sound like rejection. They love with distance that looks like coldness. They love with fear that feels like doubt. But underneath all of that noise is a simple truth. An avoidant asks because they care. A person who feels nothing asks nothing. So stop counting their silences as proof of absence. Start listening to their questions as proof of presence. They ask, "Why do you stay?" Because they are afraid of losing you. They ask, "Are you tired of me?" Because they are afraid of burdening you. They ask, "What if I hurt you?" Because they are afraid of breaking you. They ask, "Would you be happier with someone else?" Because they are afraid of trapping you. They ask, "Do you think I am capable of love?" Because they are afraid of being empty. Every question is a confession. Every awkward pause is them gathering courage. Every return after silence is them saying, "I love you," in the only way their nervous system allows. So here is your final instruction. Stop waiting for them to become someone else. Stop wishing they would text more, stay longer, speak louder. Start hearing the questions behind their silence. And when you hear them, answer with patience. Answer with honesty. Answer with the same quiet love they are trying so hard to show. That is how you love an avoidant. Not by chasing, not by fixing, not by demanding, by hearing the question they never learned to ask, am I worthy of staying? And answering with your presence. Not your words, not your promises, your presence. That is the deepest motivation. The psychology of the wounded heart. It does not need grand gestures. It needs proof that you are still there when the silence ends. Now go back and listen. What have they been asking you?